I have lots to share, and so I'm just gonna hang tight here and make sure some people jump on. But in the meantime, oh, hello, Joanne. How are you? Good morning, Esther. Excited to see you guys here. I missed you. Yeah, jet lag is a serious thing, you guys. Hi, Nadia. Good morning. Jet lag is all sorts of serious, and I don't think I got a lot of sleep while I was away, but it was fun nonetheless. And I'm working. Okay. Not hello, Joanne. Good morning, Michelle. Hi, Troy. Yeah, it has been a really interesting whirlwind. I was at a Rise Up event in Spain with Brienne Javi, and that girl is all sorts of cool and love and amazing, and she touches me in my heart in ways that not many of my gurus, I would definitely call her one of my gurus, has. I've got two gurus. She's one of them, Sandy's another one, and they just really, I have a new guru now. Her name is Tasha Smith, and so for different reasons, these gurus have really helped me and along the way in ways that have really catapulted me in my self-discovery, in my business, in my soul. And Brienne is just one of those people that I don't know that I would be where I am if it wasn't for her. So if you have a chance to go to any of her Rise Up events that she's created, then I highly recommend you go. Travel there, travel 5 hours. There was people who came from Spain, or to Spain from Australia, y'all. Australia, okay? So there was people that were there. I think there was 12 different countries represented. And guess what? I was so excited to see you guys. I forgot to check my battery. You love me, admit it. Let me just see where I'm at. Okay, well, I'm still going to talk to you. By the way, I should show you my house. I was talking to somebody today, and they're like, I showed my husband your house, how dirty it was. And I'm like, I love that. Please do that, you guys. Please tell your husbands that that this is the way to do doTERRA, is to a messy house. A messy house leads to success. All right? So can I just share that with y'all? I'm going to repeat that. A messy house leads to success. A clean house is done by maids when you get there. That's a good one. I should put that on a wall somewhere. Okay, hang on. I'm just going to plug this in. Okay, so all that to say is that, yeah, it wasn't one comment that I will make of reference to the showing your husband is that you really need to know that I don't have a messy house because I can do that now, because I have success. I have a messy house because, I've always had messy houses, but I definitely have a messy house now because I can wait for the housekeeper to come, but also, let me just see if this plugs in right. Hang on a sec, y'all. I don't know if this is working because this cord is messed up, but okay. Hopefully that works. Okay, so today I wanted to talk to you about a few things. One is what to do when, what's happening here? There we go. One is what to do when life doesn't go your way. So, I got a message from somebody, and I'm going to share it with you. I won't tell you who it is, obviously, and I don't even know if she'll ever be even listening to this, but one of the things that happened was I got this message, and it was all sorts of anger. And it was angry with me, and she had every right to be angry with me based on her truth and what she understood of the situation. And basically it was, I wanted to help this person, and this person was so gung-ho about the business and really, really just wanted to partner with me. And, you know, I really adored her, and I still adore her. And she really is just one of those people who is hurting. You know, she's sick. She has health issues and physical health issues. And so I reached out to her when I heard her talking to somebody else. And this is what I tell you all. Like, if you hear somebody talking about health concerns, go up to them, because you have something to offer them. But what ends up happening sometimes, especially when you, once you reach more success, is that people can misconstrue what you're doing and how you're helping them, why you're helping them, what can come out of you helping them. And in this particular situation, it was, she felt like I was taking advantage of her. Like, you took advantage of me, you told me that you wanted to be friends, and now all of a sudden, not only did you not yet give me, there was a misunderstanding where she had asked me to give her a protocol, and I was waiting for the video for the protocol, and it was in that person's hands, and she had thought that she had asked me about getting in direct contact with them, and I thought, fine, that's great. I didn't even remember that you had asked me that, but she was very angry with me. Now, this is a person that I placed on my front line for my double diamond, everyone, okay? So the reason I'm sharing this with you is not to vent about her, because again, in her understanding, I took advantage of her. And I'm going to talk about this, because you're going to go out there and you're going to be helping people, and they're going to be like, you just want to make money off of me. You just want to do this, and you just want to do that. But I knew in my heart that it was so not true. And I know my heart, you know my heart. You guys have been around me enough to know that, you know, what I teach you is to love people and put them first. And I did that with her. But you are not responsible for other people's misunderstandings. You are not you are in a certain, like, so I'll talk about all of this, right? Like misunderstanding and who's at fault. But here's what you're not responsible for. You're not responsible for how they accuse you of that misunderstanding. Does that make sense? None of us are perfect, and we're all going to do this imperfectly. And if they feel like you do it in a way that is in a way that's more non-heart-centered than is heart-centered, and you know that's not true, then we need to release that. Okay, so let me just fix my hair here because it's bugging me and I'm getting distracted by it. So I'm just going to look over here, which is what I usually do. So I don't know. I'm jet lagged, okay? And I'm going to try to stay focused. But I know my heart with this situation. I knew what I was doing, and I could have been more clear with her, and I could have done everything that, you know, in my power to figure that out. There was times where I had asked her like to chat, and she didn't want to chat. She was like, no, I'm good. And then to be accused of things that she accused me of was really, like, it really hurt, first of all, because I know who I am. But I'm sharing this because this is going to happen to you. And the thing is that, again, we can take responsibility for the misunderstanding, but I'm not taking responsibility for the accusation behind the misunderstanding, right? So I'll say that again, because we are only responsible for what we offer. We cannot hold on to, and there's this quote that I have. It's a great quote, so I'm going to find it because it was so good. My job is to explain what I have to offer. My job is to share with them that that they have a health issue, and here's what I have to offer. That's my job, right? I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't reach out to people, no matter what they're going through, whether it's physical health or financial health. Their job is to decide what to do with it. That's their job. And my job is to express it in a way that comes from my heart, even if I know that at the end of the day, I'm going to get a bonus from it. At the end of the day, we're not dumb. We're not idiots. Like, we know that we're going to get money out of the transaction. We're not going to like ignore that and pretend it doesn't exist. Because if we do that, we're not being authentic to who we are either, right? The point is not to ignore that. The point is, how do you come to them in the first place? When you're standing in front of them, do you love them? And I know I loved this girl. I know I loved her, and I still do. And so let me tell you how it worked out. So she was upset. She told me she no longer wanted to do doTERRA. In fact, she told me that she didn't want to do doTERRA under me at all, but that she might even still do doTERRA, but it's not going to be under me. I was like, this girl's mad, okay? And I'm not laughing because she was mad, and I wasn't laughing at the time, trust me. But what we have to understand in this business is that people are going to get hurt by us. People are going to, especially because some people don't come to doTERRA because of oils, they come to doTERRA because of you. And if they're looking for friendship and you are sitting there saying like, I'm going to support you and I'm going to be there for you, and you're not there in a way that they need you to be, then they're going to be hurt by that, right? And so that's why it's so clear, or it's so important to be clear, that you will be their friend, but you're still in partnership together. And so you can wear your friend hat and then your coach hat, and you can take them off. And so sometimes you can even ask, like, do you want me to wear my friend hat right now or my coach hat? Because I'm inviting you to this as a business, as a partner. And so again, like, why do we do doTERRA, you guys? Because people are going to disappoint us. And I was very disappointed. I was very disappointed at the way she was accusing me, even though I absolutely understood it. You can be kind about these things. And I think, again, love this girl, okay? So I'm not throwing this girl under the bus because I'm not giving you her name, but I want you to know something about people who are angry with us. They have every right to be angry. We can't take that away from them. We can't take that away from them any more than we can take away from our kid being angry with us. That's their feelings. That's their hurt. That's their anger. That's their, even with our spouse, when they're angry with us, we have to love them through that, you guys. I could have been defensive. I could have been like, what are you talking about, you crazy person? Like I could have said so many things into this person, but I'm not going to, because I love this girl. I adore this girl. This girl is amazing. If you meet her, you would be like, holy crap. If you heard her side of the story, you'd be like, I would have been upset too. Because I heard her side of the story. I totally would have been upset too. But when she heard the truth, right? When we talked about it and I got her on the phone, when she heard the truth, then she could go, okay, thank you for sharing the truth with me. But if I was defensive with giving at the same time as giving the truth, she never would have heard it. I had to strip myself of my pain. I had to strip myself of my ego. I had to strip myself of all of the things that come up when people are upset with us. And this is not just your business, you guys. This is your friendships. This is your partnerships. This is your parenting. When people are upset with us, it triggers us. It could trigger hurt, rejection, abandonment. It could trigger so much, like, oh my gosh, what did I do wrong? Why did I do something? You know what I'm saying? Like, you could get triggered. And the more work we do on personal discovery, knowing that no matter who is angry with us, we're not perfect, but we are love. And maybe we did things that weren't necessarily, perfectly detached from, I'm saying the word detached, perfectly detached from like 100% love. Right? Because we are imperfect beings. So if we 99% love somebody and somebody says, well, that 1% I didn't like, and you step back and you go, yeah, they're right about that 1%. That 1% wasn't genuine. You still need to take a step back and go, but 99% of me was so caring for you and so loving you. And it's okay to have that 1%. But most of us, many of us, will take that 1% and we'll feel so bad, and we'll start feeling guilt and shame, and we'll start to feel like and the way Brienne says it, I love this. She's like, when somebody says something bad about us, we shake hands with them in agreement, and we say, "You're right. You're right, I'm evil. You're right, I had bad intentions. You're right, I'm this, that, and the other thing. And what I want to say is never shake hands with people when you know in your heart you were legit, when you were genuine. I love this girl. She's adorable. And I'm so sad that there was this misunderstanding. But guess what? I loved her through it. I didn't come down on her and say, you're wrong. I said, you're wrong about me, but I understand where you're coming from. When people feel understood, their defenses go down. I don't know what happened to this girl in her life that made what I did, made her so angry. But that's not for me to counsel. It's only for me to help her feel understood. And when you go out there and people are angry with you, because it happens, this isn't the first time this has happened to me. I'm sure it's not going to be the last, because I'm not perfect. But with this, I know my intention was completely valid. There was not one part of me that was actually disingenuous in this interaction with her. So you can understand the confusion, right? And me wanting to defend myself and me wanting to say, no, you're wrong. But at the end of the day, you guys, she's right. She's right. And I'm right. She's right. And I'm right. And together, we have to love each other through it. Love each other through the misunderstanding. Because there's going to be lots of it out there. And so the first thing I did was help her feel understood and love the crap out of her. I just helped her feel like I love you. I care about you. I'm going to do whatever it takes to help this misunderstanding. And it has nothing to do with you doing this as a business. If you're never my customer again, I'm still here for you and I'm still going to serve you with all of my heart, because that was my original intention and it hasn't changed since. So she needed to feel that, and she deserved to feel that, because there was a misunderstanding. And I'm responsible. Once that misunderstanding happens, I'm responsible for reaching out to her. Okay? And I remember when I was first married to Brad, one of the things that spoke to me the most, because I remember thinking, like, you don't understand me. Why don't you understand me? Why are you, like, don't you know me by now? I remember saying that a lot. It's like, don't you know me by now? And one of the quotes was, you need to speak in order that the other person absorbs what you're saying, which completely threw my whole world upside down. Because to me, it's like, no, I'm just going to speak the way that I speak, and your job is to know me enough to understand what I'm saying. And that's not how we need to go about life, especially in a business where communication is so important. We need communication skills. One of the best books about this is How to Win Friends and Influence People. Horrible title. I hate the title because it sounds very schmarmy and manipulative, when really the whole book is about the other person and how to love them the way they deserve to be loved. And it's an amazing book. So for those of you who have a hard time with communication, I really recommend it. But our job is to speak in order that the other person absorbs what we say. And if in some way this girl, I communicated to this girl in a way that she didn't absorb what I'm saying, I'm responsible for that. And I'm taking full responsibility. Full responsibility. I am so sorry that I wasn't more clear. I am so sorry that I wasn't communicating in the way that you needed me to. Now, that's all I'm going to say about that part. Now let's move on to this part. I take a step back from the emotion, because I could easily say all of the reasons why she was wrong. I could say all of them. I could say, well, you're wrong because, or I didn't know because I didn't know that you were feeling this way. I wish that you were more clear with me. I wish that you had have told me this. I wish that you would have done this. I wish that you would have done that. I wish. But at the end of the day, she's way more hurt than I am. Otherwise, she wouldn't be so angry with me. And my responsibility as a person who completely, again, adores her and know that she's hurting, otherwise she wouldn't have said the things that she said to me. And she wasn't like all sorts of crazy, don't get me wrong, but she was just hurting, you guys. And what I love about doTERRA, and because people are like, you're probably like, Donna, why would we do doTERRA? Why would we do this if this is the stuff that happens? Because we can't control it all. The reason why we do this is because this kind of stuff makes us stronger. And if we reach out to these people who do get upset and misunderstand us, or we say things that cause them to misunderstand, then when we turn it around and when we love unconditionally and when we take ourselves out of the ego and out of the emotion to just love them, then two things happen. We rise and they rise. I remember when I first met Brad, I didn't trust people. I still, to this day, have a hard time trusting people. And one of the things that I remember is that he consistently proved to me that he's not going anywhere. Right? Because abandonment was a real issue for me. And he would be upset with me. I mean, Brad's way of being upset is like, yeah, that makes me upset. True story. Okay, the guys, I've known this guy for 20 years. He's never yelled at me once, not once. So his version of being upset is very different than most people. But he stuck around when he was upset with me, you know, and he proved to me over and over again that he's still going to be there even if I mess up, even when I mess up. And a lot of us don't feel that because we have abandonment issues. We have these things. So when somebody comes to me who's hurting, it's way more important for me to just say, listen, you're right. I'm right. I don't say I'm right, but I just say you're right. Like, they don't need to hear about how right I am. They just need to hear that they're right. They're wrong about me, but they're right in how they felt it. Otherwise, they wouldn't feel it. People aren't crazy out there. People aren't like coming up with reasons to just be crazy and feel these things. They feel it because somebody taught them somewhere. And I triggered that. And I might have triggered it for a good reason for them. But the point of this is, guys, you just need to love. Okay? So enough said. Okay, moving on. And oh, by the way, lost a builder. And so I'm going backwards, but I gained another builder in Spain. So this is what happens. Don't give up, okay? So the second thing I wanted to say about losing a builder is, first, love them. Second is adapt, right? I have adaptability as a strength. A lot easier for me than many people, but adaptability is, everybody has capability of adapting. And the difference between you and the difference between me might be just that I keep going and you might not. Don't be that person, right? The difference between a presidential diamond and a premier or an elite or an executive is that the presidential diamond kept going despite the exact same things that you're going through now. You're going through stuff. They were going through stuff. You had pain, they had pain. You had rejection, they had rejection. You had abandonment, they had abandonment. You had people leave you after they said yes, they did too. You had people, you had so many people say no to you. People that you hoped for, you put so much effort into. You did so much for, and they stopped. They just said no. So did they. Every single presidential diamond has equal amount of stories as you do. They'll never look the exact same, but I promise you, we all have it. The difference between them and us, you guys, for them, the presidential diamonds, and us, I'm putting myself in that category because I am going for a double diamond as well, or diamond as well. The difference between the people who succeed and the people who don't is just that we keep going. That's it. That's absolutely it. What gives one person the strength to keep going and the other person give up? It's so individual. It's so individual. If we can tap into our strengths, we will be less likely to give up. If we tap into our weakness, we'll be more likely to give up. I've had hurt this week, and I will be honest, it made me just go, Donna, why are you putting yourself through this again to hit diamond again? I had those feelings, just like you have those feelings. Like, why am I doing this to myself? This hurts so much sometimes. And it's because I know the world needs me. I know this girl needs me. I know there's so many more people out there who need me. And if this girl chooses not to do it with me, if this girl chooses to do it with somebody else, I give her full permission to. I will sign over the papers. If she never decides to do doTERRA at all, I will feel very sad. And the part I will let go is always wondering, could I have done differently? Could I have done this? Could I have done this? I hold on to the hope, and the truth of the matter is that everything happens for a reason. And maybe it happened just so that I can speak this to you today, because maybe some of you need this today. So adapt, right? You've got to just let go and surrender. And the next thing is to move on, which is kind of the things that I said. I'm moving on, you guys. I'm surrendering. I'm still going to love her. I'm still going to be there for her. I'm still going to share protocols with her for her sickness. But I am standing in the truth that there's so many people out there who will say yes to me. And it's not to me alone. It is to me. It's to doTERRA. It's to their health. It's to their financial health. It's to their physical health, their mental health, their spiritual health. doTERRA makes us stronger. Nobody rises straight up the mountain. We rise around and around and around the mountain. It's not a straight shoot. We are rising as we're slowly going around the mountain. You and I both. It's not just, hey, we're here, we're going to go, we got a builder here, we got this builder, they're doing it, we're at this builder, they're doing it, we got this builder, they're doing it. That's not the way it works, ever, with any presidential diamond I know. Every presidential diamond I know, including double diamonds and triple diamonds, they all have had people leave. They've all had stories where they are rejected and people accuse them of things. Every single one of them, the kindest, the most gentlest, is that a word? Gentlest? We're all accused. You know, the great out there, they've all had people accuse them of things and get upset with them. And they could treat that person the exact same way they treat this person, and it doesn't matter. Somebody is going to be triggered based on their own thing, or maybe you treated them differently. I don't know. The bottom line is that we're not perfect. We don't own people. No, we're not anybody's bosses. You are your own boss, and so your upline may do things that trigger you. Your upline may do things that are not okay. Guys, love your upline through it. They're trying their hardest. They may have good intentions and sometimes not. Please love your upline, because I promise you they're hurting too for different reasons than you are, maybe. But you are an upline to somebody. Are you perfect? No. So extend that same thing to your upline. They're not perfect. They might not even be involved at all. There's a reason for that. And I guarantee you, it's a darn good one. It might not be good enough for you, but it's good enough for them. Love them through it. The theme of this whole talk today is about loving them, loving you. You need to take a step out of the situation, observe it, analyze it, and move forward in it. Move forward through it, right? Like, don't go around the wall and skirt around the issues that happen to you. You want to like pound through that wall, not as like an animal, even though I'm like, pound through the wall. But you want to push down the wall, and the only way to do that is to observe, not ignore. That's personal discovery, you guys. What's rising up inside of me when somebody gets mad at me? What's rising up inside of me when I disappoint somebody and I hurt somebody? What's rising up inside of me when somebody accuses me of something? Because when we find peace, when we completely love ourselves in our imperfections, because we are perfectly imperfect, when we can find that place where we love ourselves in all of our imperfections and have grace and have love and have kindness and have gentleness towards ourselves, then we can take what people come at us with and we can say, I'm sorry. We can say, I'm so sorry that something I did, what I did, made you so angry with me. I'm so sorry. And let me do whatever it takes to fix it. Let me do whatever it takes to fix it. And that may mean taking time out when you don't want to. That may mean you moving forward towards them when you don't want to. At the end of the day, forgiveness is so key. We did an exercise at the Rise Up event about forgiveness. And man, of all of the work I did, I still came up with more people to forgive. I forgive this woman for the way she talked to me. I don't have to forgive her for the accusation, because again, that's her truth. There's a reason for it. So guys, at the end of the day, love, 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 forgive them and forgive you. If you lay trapped in the emotion of anger towards yourself, why did I do it this way? Why did I do that? How could I have done that? I'm so stupid. I'm so this. I should be better. I should have said this way. I should have said that way. That is going to get you nowhere. You need to stand in forgiveness of yourself and say, of course, I'm not perfect. Of course I did that. I did that because of this reason. Of course I did it for this reason because of what happened to me. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with making mistakes. What am I going to do about it? In the same way, it's okay that people make mistakes. On your team, above you. Let's just love, okay? That's all I've got for today, you guys. I'll come back with some other things because we still have to go through some of the training manual, but I wanted to leave that with you. And I hope that this spoke to many of you. I'm seeing that it is speaking to a few of you. So guys, leave a message for me, letting me know that, you hear me loud and clear, that this really is about truly loving other people. And it's okay when things don't go the way that you hoped, because we adapt and we move on. And we love the people that we meet every single day. We just keep loving them over and over and over again. Those people who have empathy, I'm speaking to you right now, you need that bubble. You especially need to step out of the situation when somebody's angry with you. Because people who have empathy and somebody's angry with them are going to feel it the hardest. You're going to feel it the most out of anybody. And I'm telling you right now, forgive yourself for any mistakes you've ever done. Acknowledge the mistake, do something about it, then step out of it and say, okay, what happened here? Let's write down what happened here. Let's write down let's write down what went wrong. Let's observe the emotion of it. Let's analyze the emotion of it. Like, where does this emotion come from? Step out of it. Love them through it, but don't love them so much that you're giving them your firstborn child. Because empathy people will do this, okay? You have to separate. There's some people who are going to be angry with you, and you have to love them, but you don't have to give yourself away. Does that make sense to all you empathy people out there? You need your bubble. You need to find it. And you need to talk to somebody who doesn't have empathy and listen to them. All right, guys, that's all for me. I love you guys so much. I am so appreciative of this journey to Diamond with you. This takes time. It's not a rise up the mountain. We're going around and around and around in circles sometimes. And it's okay. That's the business. But we're going to get there. I promise you, if you don't stop. The only way that you're not going to get to the top is if you stop going around and around. Love you guys. Have a great day. Bye.